I greet you all with love and with an abundance of gratitude. Those of you who are here in the temple with me, those of you who are sitting out in the outdoor temple beneath the mighty oak tree, those of you who are joining us from your temples around the world in your homes, I greet you with love and with the deepest gratitude for what you have made possible. 40 years. I like to say I was 5 when I began, which was kind of true, you know. We all begin early on our journey. So how did this begin, and what has sustained it, and what does the future hold? Well, I thought I would begin with the process of cosmic manifestation and how it began with the expression of life in the cosmos. It began with love, with faith, with gratitude, with commitment and grace. And really, as far as I can see, that's what the future has in store for all of us. A future of love, grace, commitment, gratitude. The cosmic story begins, this is going to be a short message, even though I am beginning with the cosmic story. The cosmic story begins with and is sustained by love. And when Reverend Atma was reading this morning, I had to just laugh for a moment because what he read was the reading I had selected, and we never plan. And it was just one more kiss from the Divine Beloved to say, happy 40th birthday. There's a stream of grace that flows through this work, that flows through your life, that you can trust. So, Paramahansa Yogananda wrote, in the universal sense, love is the divine power of attraction in creation that harmonizes, unites, binds together. Those who live in tune with the attractive force of love achieve harmony with nature and their fellow beings and are attracted to blissful reunion with God. The love of God, the love of Spirit, is an all-consuming love. Once you have experienced it, it will lead you on and on in the eternal realms. That love will never be taken from your heart. It shall burn there, and in its fire you shall find the great magnetism of spirit that draws others unto you and attracts whatever you truly need or desire. That's the promise that was given to us at least twice today and multiple times throughout our life. So I say the ministry began with that cosmic plan of divine love with its intention to draw all souls back to itself. And we must always, all of us, begin there if we want to succeed in life. We have to ask ourselves, what is my purpose? And will my purpose serve life? Will it serve love? How can I serve love? So for this ministry, first, the great cosmic impulse. And then the yoga tradition, which also begins with love, accompanied by faith, gratitude, commitment, and grace. 1861. You see how quickly the story is progressing? Yeah. From the Big Bang to 1861. Lahiri Mahashaya working as a civil servant, received a job transfer to Ranikhet, a road construction site in the Himalayan Valley. And everything for us, and for millions of others began to change then. A divine meeting occurred. Lahiri Mahashaya was reunited with his timeless guru, Mahavatar Babaji, who initiated him into the ancient spiritual practices of Kriya Yoga. And for Lahiri Mahashaya, the doors of divine perception and his soul destiny swung wide open. He walked through with love, with gratitude, with commitment and grace. Swami Satyananda, writing about Lahiri Mahashaya, wrote, he was writing about his initiation into Kriya Yoga, and he wrote, "This was not only a sacred moment for him, but for all of humankind. It was the beginning of recovering the lost treasure. So many men and women would now find a place to quench their yearning with the rejuvenating water of life. That holy moment was a hidden event, unseen by people in an undiscovered secret cave, for beings praying for shelter, for the distressed and desperate, for sincere seekers. The powerful seed of the tree that would be their future sanctuary was now planted with the greatest love and care." So from the heights of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, that direct experience of the unchanging absolute reality of the divine self, Lahiri Mahashaya then returned to his work, to his family, to his life in the world with a divine mission to bring the Kriya Yoga, science of self and God realization to seekers everywhere, regardless of religion, of ethnicity, regardless of gender or social status. This was a big change and a big commitment. And Lahiri Mahashaya said, all are children of God and have equal right to practice yoga and to obtain God realization. This fountainhead of love, faith, gratitude, commitment, and grace then attracted Swami Sri Yukteswar. And along with him, Paramahansa Yogananda, who brought Kriya Yoga to the West in 1920. And then my guru, Roy Eugene Davis, who met Paramahansa Ji in 1949. I met Mr. Davis, my spiritual teacher and American yoga master, in 1979. He initiated me into Kriya Yoga in 1980 and offered his guidance to open this center in San Jose, beginning with the first Sunday service in October of 1981. And he mailed an announcement to his mailing list of people in the Bay Area, and 50 people showed up to that first service. And I thought, wow, the ministry is off and running. But a ministry doesn't arrive full-blown. It unfolds over time with commitment, with grace. So when no one came back to the second service the following Sunday, and week after week, there was only one woman who attended regularly, it seemed like a good idea to probably quit. But she said, And I quote, "You can't quit. I've been looking all my life for this teaching." And that woman's name was Aurelia. And that name means golden. I am so grateful for her and for the grace of God to speak the word through her. And I am so grateful for you and the way that God is revealed through you. So here's something else to contemplate. You know, that first service in a rented hall, Oddfellows Hall, on Emery Street, took place just a few blocks from here. But it took 17 years to make the journey of 2/10 of a mile, which was a 5-minute walk or a 1-minute car ride, from there to here. 17 years to get ready to receive it and to surrender to what it would require. So I want to say about that for all of us that what I know is that life will always provide whatever is needed to fulfill its purpose through us, whenever we are truly ready for it and willing to participate in it. God will and does provide, but we have to get ready and we have to be open to receive and willing to cooperate with that divine plan and purpose. So let's look at it this way, that we must become willing to be what love with a capital L requires in order to express through us. We don't have to do it alone, and we don't have to do it all at once. If it takes you 17 years to go 2/10 of a mile, that's okay. We don't even have to do it perfectly. I have made many mistakes along the way, many publicly, a lot privately. But God's love and grace are generous. And life itself, capital L, is self-correcting. When you're committed to the path, committed to living with higher purpose, you're continually shown what the course correction is and how to follow the way of divine grace in your life. Paramahansa Yogananda told my guru, even while you are learning to swim in the sea of life, you can help others learn to swim. So this ministry is my dharma. Teaching and serving in this tradition is my purpose in life, and I have never lost sight of that or lost faith in the power of God's grace that supports it. The experience that I had of my soul rejoicing when I found this path awakened a fire of love in me that burns to this day, just as Yogananda promised. I want to offer this path to anyone who's seeking it. I want it to be available. I want this place, this ministry in all its avenues to fulfill its potential as an oasis of peace, as a pathway an opening for the still small voice of the soul to be heard, for the pathway of liberation of consciousness to be opened, and the way forward to an awakened world to be revealed and illumined by grace. I began 40 years ago because I had faith that the way that my life was radically transformed was possible for others. And I know that even in spite of my stumbling along the way, I have inspired others as one fellow said to me one time, he said, I know I can teach because if you're doing it, anybody can do it. So I believed, really in that same way, that truth, that what was possible for me in my life, that had brought higher happiness than I ever knew was possible, and a greater depth of peace than I knew was available. I knew because it was possible for me, it was possible for others. I had faith in the teachings of the great saints of all the religions and of our Kriya Yoga masters, that it's possible to awaken spiritually, fully, in this lifetime, to live with higher purpose, to love and to serve with joy and with freedom. I had faith then, and I have that faith now, so many years later. And here's how I would define it. Faith is the radical assumption that you are divinely supported. That's how I set out, and really it's kind of how I set out every day. And I hope you do too. Faith is the radical assumption that you are divinely supported, your prayers are being answered, and greater good is right now unfolding in your life and in the life of our world. It includes the commitment. This faith includes the commitment to discover that good that we believe is unfolding. So we're committed to discovering it, to lifting it up and being part of it, especially when we cannot see it. We have to be willing to discover it, to lift it up and be part of shining that light in our world, and have a willingness to participate in it and the discipline to prepare ourselves to receive it. I think that quality of faith is something that we all need right now. And the beauty of this ministry, this satsang here and globally, is that we have a shared commitment to lifting up that vision in our world and doing our part to participate in it. When this ministry started, I felt like it could not possibly fail. And not because of me, but because I knew there was a divine purpose connected to it, a higher purpose that was unfolding, and I was blessed to be part of it. And my work then and over the years and now is to see with the eyes of faith and to cooperate with that divine plan. I felt like a spiritual pilgrim. I really did. Everywhere I went, and in the beginning, I remember going out and looking for a place that we could land and have our programs. And I was literally knocking on doors, going where, sharing this vision and asking people. And I remember I went to one woman, I said, "We're looking for a center." And she said, "Honey, everybody's looking for a center." But I had the faith of a pilgrim that as I simply put one foot in front of the other, and I recognized that divine grace was lighting my path, it would guide me. So I looked, I prayed, I listened. You can't quit. You can't quit. I've been looking all my life for this, she said. So it's no different in our lives today. A divine plan is right now unfolding in a world struggling to awaken to its wholeness, to its unity. So let us walk together as pilgrims, eyes and hearts open to the divine path that lies ahead. Om.